It's a worse loss in terms of point differential for the Knicks all year. But Alan, as Tom Thibodeau likes to say, one game has nothing to do with the next. We're basically at a best of three, and 2 of the 3 potential games are at MSG.
Yeah, and that's why you play for home court advantage. So you get these games at home, and you just got to win 2 of the next 3. You hope to steal one here in Indiana, and the chance to do that was going to be in Game 3. A 30-footer changed everything, and obviously an injury to OG Anunoby changed everything in this series as well. The Knicks have got to forget this, rest up, and be ready for what's going to be a critical and a very raucous Garden crowd as well. Game 5.
Not making excuses. It was concerning about the start time, the quick turnover, with how decimated the Knicks are with injuries. This building was on fire. Really favored the home court team, really favored the younger team, which is the Indiana Pacers, and the deeper team, which is the Indiana Pacers. Jalen Brunson, off night again. That's 2 in a row. I don't think he's going to do that 3 games in a row. And you said the most important part. This is a 3-game series with home court having held serve the first 4 games of the series, and the Knicks have 2 of those 3 games in Madison Square Garden with the fans on their side, which have been a huge part of the success of this team in this playoff run this season. So that is big. And you forget about this game. The Knicks got a little bit of rest because they weren't playing 48 minutes every single major contributor, and you move on to preparing for the biggest game of the year, Game 5 at home.
Game 5 is Tuesday night. We now know there's going to be a Game 6 Friday, 2 days between Games 5 and 6. Game 6 will be Friday at Indiana. Wally's a former player. Any impact when you're on the Knicks and you lose like this, or is it, in fact, what the coach always says, one game has nothing to do with the next?
Well, you better come out ready to play to start this Game 5, because right now the Indiana Pacers, they are flying high. They are ultra confident, and they feel like they're going to come in your building and blow you off the floor, because that's what they did in this game in their building. Now, every game starts at 0. That's the difference. My dad always taught me that. This game, you had a great night. You had a great night, shooting performance, Indiana. You move on to Game 5. If you're the Knicks, you better show that you're ready to play to start that game, because Indiana is a team that we've talked about liking to be ahead.
Yep.
They're a front-running team. When they get ahead of you, they start really feeling confident, and they blow you out of the building. That's what happened in this game. Knicks better come up, show up, ready to play on Tuesday.
And the bench matchup in this series really has been a big story, because in the first 2 games, and that's the other thing too, you always say that the benches play better at home. But yet, in the first 2 games at the Garden, the Pacers bench outscored the Knicks bench by 77 points. And then in Game 3, the Knicks bench came through huge, and you got those minutes out of Burks. But T.J. McConnell came into this game, and everything seemed to turn. He and Obi Toppin checks in, and it just took it up a whole other notch, and it really did feel like that's when things got away. The score at one point was 34-11. Half of those points were bench points, 17 of them. And it was all, again, generated a lot of it by McConnell, who had a very quiet Game 3, but you didn't think that was going to stick. He has been such a catalyst in this series for the Pacers. As much as we talk about Tyrese Halliburton, Wally, I feel like that T.J. McConnell's impact on this series is something you cannot ignore.
No question. You said the most important part. He didn't play well in Game 3. So great players, they respond in their next game, and he came out like a house of fire. So did Obi Toppin. He played really well alongside McConnell. McConnell had 15 points, 10 assists in 20 minutes.
He had 2 10-assist games, 10-plus assist games in this series.
Yeah, limited minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's not playing 30-plus minutes. 20 minutes, he was a plus 27. Yeah. He dominated when he was out there on the floor.
We showed you on the panel there, the differential in three-point shooting, also really important here, Alan, as the Pacers go 14 of 31, and the Knicks go 7 of 37.
And that was something we talked about in the pregame.
That was my key to the game.
It was your key to the game, and the Knicks came into this game as the number 1 three-point shooting team in the league in the playoffs, and shooting well over 40% from 3, almost 48, 49% from 3 in the first 3 games of the series. Both teams were 50, shooting over 50 and over 40. And the question was, is this going to hold up? Which team is going to lock it down defensively? It was answered. The Pacers were aggressive defensively. The Knicks were off with their three-point shooting. Even the open looks they missed. And that's the difference in the game right there as far as being able to keep up offensively. If you cannot stop them, you got to keep up with them. And you weren't able to do that. And a three-point shot is always the great equalizer. It's the one way you can stay in a game is if you can knock down threes. That did not happen in this game for the Knicks. And they have been a decent three-point shooting team, so I wouldn't look at this as something that is a trend. But it is a trend if your legs are tired and you have other issues going on with your team. That's the part of concern you got to watch for in Game 5.
Yeah, the most concerning part about this game to me is Jalen Brunson missing very makeable shots.
Yep.
We haven't seen him miss shots.
Short, too, by the way.
Yeah, the way he missed them at the beginning of this game all year long. When he gets a clean look and he leaves a guy in the dust, from 15, 18 feet, he doesn't miss that shot very often. And he missed his first 5 shots of the game, and they were pretty decent looks at the basket. It might just be another off night. Hopefully it is, but hopefully it's not more, and that foot's not bothering him. Because I can tell you, as a shooter, if you have ankle or foot problems, it is tough to shoot. It's tough to get your balance, and that is the worst injuries for shooters to have to deal with when they're trying to shoot the basketball.
So the Knicks outscored from the three-point line by a differential of 7 makes. That's 21 points that they lost on the three-point line. Was it the fact that the Pacers were just getting open and hitting easy shots? What's your take on how this transpired?
Listen, the Pacers, like I said, it's a momentum team. It's a front-running team. Once they get up 10, the threes start to go in. It just was an avalanche that just continued to drop.
This guy hit 4 of them.
This guy's been on fire the last 3 games. After Game 1, where he didn't even show up, I mean, he has been big time in the next 3 games and completely awoken in this series.
Turner hit 3 for 3 from downtown, too.
Right, and this is an elite three-point shooting team. Every position, every guy on the floor, even guys coming off the bench, they can shoot threes.
He shot it off one leg that one.
I mean, they were one of the league leaders in made threes, and they're the highest octane #1 offense as far as offensive efficiency in the NBA the whole entire regular season. So this is no surprise that this team was making threes. The key is they will give up threes. The Knicks got 37 threes up. They only made 7. The only chance the Knicks have to win this series is when they get open shots, they have to make the open shots because the Pacers, they're not going to miss when they get looks at the basket, especially from 3.
The Knicks were, of the Villanova guys, and especially obviously the backcourt, Brunson and DiVincenzo. Brunson and DiVincenzo combined 1 for 11 from 3, and that's not typical. I mean, again, DiVincenzo coming off of a 7 for 11 from downtown himself in Game 3, but 1 for 6 for him, 3 of 13 overall. The shooting issues that he was having in this game, was it rhythm? Was it what they were doing defensively against them? And then obviously, as you mentioned with Jalen Brunson, I mean, those are the 2 biggest ones. And Deuce McBride has been a really good three-point shooter off the bench. He ended up 3 for 11 in this game. Started making some later on, but he struggled also earlier on with some of those kickouts to the corner that normally he has been knocking down throughout the playoffs. So again, it's you're getting the shots you want. The open looks on a lot of the kickouts, they were just not knocking them down in this game. And now the debate will rage on whether it is fatigue or whether it is the Pacers' defense or a combination of the both.
Guys, we got to mention no OG Anunoby for the 2nd straight game.
Yeah.
When he suits up this year, the Knicks are 26-5. When he doesn't, the Knicks are 13-16. What has his absence meant specifically when you look at what's transpired in the last couple of games?
It's when the Knicks traded for him, the front office talked about his positional size is key because the Knicks don't have a lot of positional size in a lot of their other starters in this series. You look, Jalen Brunson, okay, he's a normal point guard size. DiVincenzo, he's a little undersized at the 2. Josh Hart, very undersized at the 3 or playing the 4 when he downshifts down to the 4. Achua is an undersized 4, and Hartenstein is an undersized 5. They're all giving up size at every positional matchup in this series, pretty much. So when you have OG out there, though, he's a guy that can play the 2, 3, 4, and 5. And although he's a little small to play 5, he can block shots at the 5 spot. I mean, he comes from the weak side, helps out Hartenstein, and he gets blocks down there against Embiid. We saw it in the previous series. That's why his importance with the size component that he brings on the defensive end of the floor, that's the one thing the Knicks really lack with him out of the lineup.
Siakam had 14 points in 22 minutes and was 7 of 9.
Yeah.
Like he had real easy flow going.
And Siakam can't do that against OG.
No, right. And that's sort of been like that's the counter to that part of it, and they don't have a counter for it. But people will look at Siakam's line and say, well, he only had 14 points. He only did it in 22 minutes. He didn't really play a lot in this game because they didn't have to play him. But he was scoring literally at will, 7 for 9 with his shooting. And then Miles Turner, who didn't have a great game 3 at all, he hit 3 threes. He had 13 points. But I also feel like him and Siakam, their length, you know, the Knicks, we talked about it in game 3, fourth quarter, couldn't make a layup, fourth quarter, 0 for 7. And a lot of it was because they couldn't finish. There was 3 blocks on those 0 for 7s. Well, between Turner and Siakam in that first quarter, the Knicks were getting to the basket, still couldn't finish around the rim. Another major thing to watch in Game 4. How do they adjust?
And the latest on Anunoby pregame, Coach Tom Thibodeau said he's working out in the pool. Anunoby, though, has still not resumed running, so we wonder about his status for Tuesday night's Game 5.